everybody. It's Connie again with the Artisan Company. It's a lovely rainy day today, and so I'm out in the studio and I've got a project that's been on my desk for what I call a minute or two. Anyway, someone gave me a purse that they wanted reworked. They weren't in a hurry, thank heavens, because I haven't had a vision for it, but now I'm getting one. So, reworking a purse is usually kind of difficult, but I'm going to see what I can do with it, and let's just go look at the project at hand. Well, here's my project at hand. She bought this purse in another country and she loved it, but it is becoming a little uh, disjointed, so to speak. But it's got this beautiful key on it right here, and this key is very, very weighty. So the flap just kind of flops basically. So I've got to do something here to help with the balance and things like that. It's probably going to stay in its own position where it's at, but I'm going to try to do something else with it. Um, I think I am going to do some decorative stitching here. The purse itself, let me turn this backwards, as you can see, is very crudely done, and this part is not even the same size as this part. So I've got to take the whole entire thing apart, size it up where it's right, cut this part of the flap off on each side to make sure that it fits beautifully with, and on this side too, right there, where it will fit beautifully with the rest of the purse, because right now the flap is just way too much bigger than the body of the purse. So anyway, I'm probably going to reinforce this part and this part with some extra leather. Probably this part too, just to secure the stitching of what's going to be happening on the top. She asked me if I'd put fringe on it, but if I put fringe on it, let me turn it over here. If I put fringe on it on the bottom, and you can also see the bottom is just completely off kilter. But I'm going to have to cut into the skin because it's all one piece right here. And I'm trying to decide if I really want to do that or not. I'm just trying to decide. We'll do some more decorative stitching here and on the other side. Also some stitching on the handle itself, the strap, because it's kind of uneventful. And then these are just connected in there some wappy jawed way. So I'm trying to figure out how to even connect this in back into the purse where it would hang at the correct angle. Right now it hangs forward because of these are on the back. And then that big key on the front also makes it go forward. So we got a dual thing going on here. So that is what is on my plate with this purse. Oh my. So this is going to be a pretty large project. I'm probably not going to film all of it for you guys to see, but I'll do it in sections and tell you what I did just to save you the time, the viewing time. So anyway, oh my. Woo, Lottie, here we go. I'm going to get started. Well, I've got all the components apart. Here's my key right here. Oh, that thing is heavy. Cool idea, but it's heavy. This is the extra leather I took off. I never throw anything away because I might need it for something, just an accent or something. So I hold on to all that. Here's the strap, separate and apart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hole punch and I'm going to punch holes all the way around, all the way up and around. And that is going to take me a little bit of time. And then I'm going to go back and stitch it with just a whip stitch, like we did kind of on the bracelet that we did earlier in the teaching thing. I did a leather bracelet. We're going to do it that same way. I'm probably going to use the black sinew instead of the gold because I want to bring out these colors right here. This is the front of it. I'm going to trim this and this so that it matches with the body of the purse. And then I will also stitch right around here for decorative purposes, but there will also be another thing on here too. So I got to go back and look at where the holes are in here and go from there. I'm probably going to stitch the back of it. I'm sorry. The top of it, I'm probably going to stitch in a different manner to the body. So if I get to that part, I'll let you know. And here is the inside. You can see she has had it for quite some time. So I'm going to take some leather and do this part so it will be clean and pretty and clean. Then I'll go back and work on this part. So here we go. I'm gonna start probably trimming this and getting it ready to fit this. Then I'm gonna go back and punch my holes in this and start stitching. All right, I'll get back when I get that all done. Alrighty, here's where I am on this purse project. Oh, you guys, because nothing was cut, what I would say, plumb or evenly. I had to hand cut almost every piece for this. So here's the flap for the outside. So what I did was to reinforce it. Remember I said I was going to make it a little more stronger. So we'd have some bases here for the key and all that stuff like that. So I hand cut. I had this beautiful piece of glove tanned cowhide, and it's really, really soft and supple. If you're going to use cowhide, that's probably one of the best ones to get for softness is the glove tanned. So anyway, got this piece cut for the inside of the flap, and then over here, whoa, this was a trick. Okay, so you can see this is the inside of the purse, and look how off kilter that is. It goes way out to the side over here, so it's not straight. So what I had to do to reline this purse, I had to literally cut each piece individually, because when you fold this piece over, it's not straight either. It's longer on one side than it is on the other one. So I wound up having to hand cut this piece to fit this part of the purse and this piece to fit the bottom part. So I've got the curve going here like this, and the curve on this side, and this little dip right here that was in the top of the purse. I'm trying to figure out what to do with that right there. I might try to make something decorative out of that just to make it funky and fun. I don't know. I have to put my brain on it. But anyway, here's where I am with the project at this point. And oh my goodness, it's a challenge, but boy, is it good to make your brain work. Be back in a little bit with another section that I've worked on. Okay, what I have decided to do first with this purse is I am going to stitch the lining together for the inside of the purse, not the flap. I'm not quite ready for that one yet, so I'm stitching the two pieces together that are going to line the inside of the purse in the bottom where it's going to meet in the bottom. And I'm just doing a basic whip stitch right here. And I'm using the golden sinew because it's less noticeable, although they should not see it. But if for some reason, after a while, the leather stretches, you might see a little bit of the stitch, but it'll be in the very bottom. So this way, nobody will really notice that it's there. Most people don't look at the very bottom of their purses anyway. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this right here, whip stitch this all the way down. And then I will go from there. Man, who knows how long this project's going to be. Oh my goodness. Hang in there, because I'm hanging in there, and it's going to look fantastic when it's done. Be back later. Okay, here is where I am in the middle of this project. But first, Spitzbit, are you a good girl? Tell everybody hello. That's my good girl right there. That's my good girl. That's my good girl. She's like my 5-year-old in the house. Very curious and active cat. Anyway, here I am with the project. So what I realized I had to do before I put this in, which is the lining, before I put the lining in, I had to go ahead and put the decorative stitching on the outside because the holes were already here and I knew I couldn't take those off because it would make the purse more narrow, and I'm trying not to take away any more than I have to from it. So I went ahead and I stitched in the decorative lining on both sides here. You can see it on this side too. And then there were 2 holes right here as well where the strap was. So I went ahead and I did some decorative work back here on this. So I put some brass and copper and pearls right in there just to have something pretty on the back. And this will be decorated too when I get to it. The ends here hanging off will be decorated as well on the bottom of the purse instead of putting fringe all the way across here because it's more noticeable if I did that it's uneven. So I decided not to. I'm just going to decorate the 2 ends here. The biggest decoration will be on the flap. But now what I'm about to do is, let me back up here just a little bit, as I'm getting ready to take this lining and I'm going to tie off the end right here of the leather on all 4 corners. And then I'm going to take the lining, I'm going to line it up as closely as I can with the body of the purse, and then I am going to glue it down. You can use a leather glue like Echo Flow, if I can reach it. Yes, you can use a leather glue like Echo Flow, or and I get this, you could probably get it on Amazon. I usually get it at Tandy Leather, but you can probably get it on Amazon as well. So you could use something like this, or you can use an E6000. So either one will work. Just depends on what you want to do. So that's going to be my next task, and we will get back when I'm there. Okay, here is where I've gotten so far. I have got the inside of the purse, the lining, attached to the front of the purse. I'm sorry, yes, this is the front because it's got that little weird edge right there. So I've got the lining attached to the inside of that. I'm going to let this dry overnight because I've glued it down. I haven't done this side yet. So I'm going to wait and let this one cure, and then I'll come back and do this one tomorrow maybe, or the next day. Depends on what's on the plate. But anyway, then I'll do this one and we'll move forward from there. Remember, I forgot to say, if you're using any kind of glue, make sure you have adequate ventilation. Otherwise, you might be feeling it. It's not good for you. I was supposed to say that earlier and I forgot. So anyway, I am going to put this down for the evening and get ready for my day tomorrow. And you guys have a great and fantastic evening tonight and the rest of your weekend. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye. All right, everybody, I'm back working on this purse again. And I glued on, as you remember the other day, the center, and I've worked on one half. But I've got to attach the strap before I do this side of the inside. So what I'm doing is, this strap was really plain, and you can see she's had it a long time and it was just really plain. So I decided I was going to make it a little more decorative by putting a stitch on the outside of each edge all the way around. Now this is because it's not a piece of jewelry. The stitching is not going to be as close together and fine. I left a little bit of space in between here. You can almost put another hole right there in between each one of these. But that way it won't look like it's been done on a machine because I don't want that look. I want it to be more rustic, just like the purse is. So I'm going to stitch one side first. Then I'm going to come back with a separate piece of sinew and I'm going to stitch this side. This is purely decorative. It's not utilitarian at all. It's just decorative to spice up this little strap here, and to make it look a little bit more connected to the rest of the purse with what I'm doing there. Remember in the bracelet video when we did the stitch bracelet, we rolled the sinew. Remember the sinew is really wide like that, and we want to roll it to make it almost like a piece of thread. So I rolled it between my fingers all the way down. And remember, you always do twice as much sinew as the length of whatever it is you're stitching. So I measured this piece and I measured out 2 times the length of this, plus a little bit more on the end. And that gives me some room to tie off on both ends and burn off the edges. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to work on this, and lordy, it's going to take me at least a minute or two to get it stitched. Woo! I need a pot of coffee, and I'm going to put this nice little smooth music back on, and I'm going to get started. I'll be back when I get it done. Well, I have got the whole entire strap stitched now. You can see both sides are stitched. Look how clean it looks now. It's just so much more inviting to look at. Looks finished, so it will blend better with the completed purse. Next thing I've got to do is I tied off the end here. This will be covered so you won't see this. I'm going to burn off the edges. If you remember the bracelet video, remember I had my trusty lighter here. And I'm going to carefully burn off these edges all the way down and set the sinew. It kind of burns off the little waxy residue that's on the end of the sinew. We did that in the bracelet video as well. So if you want to see that, you can go back and reference that one. And anyway, but we're going to burn it off and get all the little excess hairs off too. You can see how anytime you're working with a cowhide like this, the grain goes a certain way, and you get little fuzzies of hair on there. So those will burn off as well as we go all the way down. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach it back where it was, which is here and here on the back of the purse. I'm going to go ahead and attach it back where it was like this. And it will be, I'm going to take the excess sinew that I had left over, which is here, so nothing goes to waste. And I'm going to attach it back on here. And then the leather, the second piece of leather will go across like this and adhere down. So it'll have a double way of protecting it so that it won't come undone and loose from the purse itself. I've already done a little bit of work back here on this back because I knew I had to. That's the back of the purse, so I'll show you that when it's done as well. But anyway, I'm going to burn this strap off right here. I'm going to attach it here and here, and then we'll get back and try to finish this last piece of leather going across here. And I've got a few more steps, and then I will be done. So anyway, I'll be back shortly. Spit, spit. Look here. Look around right here. Look right here. Hey. This is my Spitfire girl. She's in here with me again today. She loves to be outside, but she loves to come in here and sit in Mama's lap when I'm in the hardest part of the project. She's my stress reliever. Anyway, okay, back over here to the project. I have got the handles on, as you can see. So what I did was I went ahead and I put the liner, this part of the liner in. So you can see that all of it's done, front, back. Before I adhered this piece of leather to this one, the fuzzy one, I went ahead and attached the strap to this piece of leather from the inside, and I used black sinew so that it wouldn't contrast against all of this beautiful chocolate brown leather right here. And so I stitched it down right through here. You can see right there's where I stitched it. And then I tied it off on the inside. And then I adhered the inside to it. And then I went back to reinforce the strap being attached. I went back with some more leather, but I did a decorative thing instead of something that was more, you know, the only word I can think of is utilitarian. But anyway, I did a decorative thing. So it's pretty on the inside and pretty on the outside. And you can see it continues all the way across. So that's where I'm at so far. Now I've got a little piece of leather left over right here. And this is where I'm going to attach the flap, is right here. And then the flap right here. There's the front of it. And I've got to attach the key first in here because it's so heavy. I want to make sure that the lining protects the key so that it doesn't come unhooked or loose. So my next thing is to get the key adhered to this, and you can see there's holes here where that it was before. I'm going to try to use those same holes, and I may add something else to it. I'm not sure at this juncture. I'm still trying to decide, but it kind of goes at an angle like this on the flap. So I'm going to adhere the key here. Going to add my lining on the inside, and then I am going to attach it to this piece of leather. So I'll have the flap, and then I will wind up connecting the front and the back on the sides here. This is useful, but it's also decorative, so it's a both and. And then I'm going to run another stitch here, 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 alternating with the leather in the space, leather in the space. And it's going to connect the front and the back together. And it will be decorative plus useful. Okay, so let me move along here with this, and I'll get back with you. Patience, patience. Back again. I have got the flap on now in the front. I have stitched it. I don't know if you can see this or not. Okay. That little flap of leather that I had that I was connecting it to is right here on the top. And the reason why I did it this way was because this leather, this cowhide, is so old that it's no longer very supple. So I had to do something to be able to make the front and the back stay together without it being too hard and crisp. So I added this little section right here to add the flap on so that it would easily fold over like so, like that. And I stitched the inside here of that little piece of flap. I hand stitched it right here just so it would be decorative when you open the purse. This is also decorative when you open the purse, front and back. Actually, it's more than decorative. It does connect two pieces together, but it is very decorative when you open the purse too. Then I took sinew right here and I literally stitched the flap, a little bit of You can tell I'm getting tired. I've been at this a while. Anyway, took the sinew and I hand stitched down the flap onto that little piece of leather that I had left over. It was about a half an inch. So I stitched it front and back. Let me turn it over. Okay, so there's the front of the flap. You can see it's stitched all the way across. So that's going to hold this on. I've got the key on. Let me turn it here. I do have the key on. It is anchored very, very well. I took sinew here and I took sinew up here on the top. It's not that noticeable because it's black. So I went ahead and I attached that all down. You can see right there. That's where it's attached. I burn it off. And then I came back with a little tiny piece of leather, and to pick up the motif that's going on the back here, which I haven't finished yet, but to pick up this motif of mixed metals with pearls, yeah, these right here, these are pearls, this white and platinum colors. These are pearls. So I decided to pick that up on the front in the key. And I did, it gives it a little color on the front, a little pop of shine. So it's not too blingy, but it's just enough to accent this key and also to accent this beautiful fur on the leather. But I did copper, brass, and silver tone with freshwater pearls on a little tiny piece of leather there, just to accent that key. All right, so the next thing I am going to do is I am going to connect now the the front part of the purse with the back part of the purse, like so. So I'm going to connect these here, like I was saying earlier. I'm going to stitch between every space. So a stitch here, one here at the leather, one between the leather, one at the leather, between the leather, at the leather. So that's how I'm going to connect the two sides right here. And then once I get that done, I will come back and show you what else I have left. I am on the downhill slide on this purse. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. So anyway, it would have been easier just to make a brand new purse, for me anyway. But she loved it, and I'm just revamping it. So I'll get back with you when I'm further down the road. All right. I am on the downhill slide for sure now on this purse. Okay, so I've got the front and the back put together, and what I did was I stitched the sides here all the way down with a crisscross stitch on both sides, and I think I like the decorative look of it, and it's also going to hold everything in place really well. Okay, so I showed you this part of it, and then what I did on the inside here is I came up here to the top, and this was a raw edge. So I decided to go ahead and just do a decorative stitch on there, and it kind of matches the stitch I did up here on this. But I did a decorative stitch to pull it all together so there are no raw edges. Okay, so the last thing I've got to do now is the inside of the flap. Oh, hallelujah. Anyway, I've got this secured as I showed you before. So I'm going to probably go ahead and put the backing on this, and then I will come here and punch my holes all the way around here, and I will then all the way around here. Sorry, I got out of the camera there. Then I will hand stitch it just like I did over here on this, and it will be a decorative stitch all the way around all the sides. And then I am thinking about, I'll know when I get all the stitching done on here, but I'm thinking about doing something decorative right here with some leather. So we'll see. I am on the downhill slide. Yippee! Be back in a minute. Well, yippee, yeehaw, I am done. Oh my gosh, what a project. Anyway, here is the finished product on the front. Oh my gosh. Okay, and I hand stitched all of this right through here. And because of the grain and the way the fur is laying, sometimes you won't be able to see every stitch on one side. But anyway, this is done. It is done on the inside all the way around. Look at that. Yes, sir. And there's all the finished on the inside. I'm so excited. I'm going to close it. I'm going to turn it over on the back so you can see. Get the strap out of the way here. And there you go. There's the back of it. This was a major, major project. At the beginning, I explained that the leather was just not even. It was cut all wappy jawed, and I couldn't take too much of the leather out without actually losing part of the purse. So I had to go with the flow. You can see right down here where it's kind of going downhill. That was the way the leather was cut, and I just couldn't cut any more or she wouldn't have had a purse. So anyway, there it is. I'm excited. It's done. I will be doing some more purses later on in the season that I personally have designed. So no remakes. Not sure I would do this again if I was asked, but she's very dear to me and it's her birthday, and I really, really wanted to get this done for her because it was a special thing. So anyway, I am done. My hands hurt, my shoulders hurt, my neck hurts, and I'm ready to go eat and join my hubby and get ready for my day tomorrow. So you guys have a great rest of your weekend because I'm definitely going to. See you on the next project. Bye.